On April 6, 2025, J.K. Rowling posted the following tweet directed at asexual people. Happy International Fake Oppression Day to everyone who wants complete strangers to know they don't fancy a shag. Which, while acephobic, is also incorrect. AroAce people can feel both disinterested or okay with the concept. This might sound impossible, but asexuality is actually part of a wider spectrum called the AroAce or aromantic asexual spectrum. Using 3 fictional characters, I will explain the 3 different types of aromantic or asexual people. Please keep in mind there are way more forms of AroAce identity. These are just the 3 best known ones. Everyone wants different things in a relationship. The first one, simplest, is where someone is repulsed by both intimate and romantic intimacy. It is best represented by Lilith Clawthorne from The Owl House by Dana Terrace, who, while not shown in the show, was confirmed off-screen by the creator during a livestream. The second one, best known, asexuality, is represented briefly by Alistair at Has-Been Hotel. While he's polite about it, he's shown twice avoiding offers for anything revolving around the subject. Also, his friend refers to him as an ace in the hole during an episode. That just means he can date someone and would most likely remain strictly platonic between the 2, or 3. So shipping him with others is okay. I don't see why the fandom gets so iffy about that. The third example, a lot less straightforward, Buddy Armstrong from Lisa the Painful, is the only living female character in the game. It is made extremely clear during the game that she's supposed to have a male partner, or humanity will die out. She shows little to no interest in the idea, preferring the idea of ruling the wasteland she was born into. Despite all of that, in the ending of the game, she's shown with a child, no partners around though. The fandom mainly agrees that she had a child with someone, and continuing a relationship with them, which is great representation of an aromantic person, which is basically the opposite of asexuality. This is only scratching the surface of being an AroAce. There are so many other terms for the concept that it gets quite complicated when looking at it all. If you think any of these identities resonates with you at all, I'd heavily recommend having your own look at the AroAce spectrum. In conclusion, romance comes in a lot of different shapes and forms. We're not just letting strangers know we don't fancy a shag, although maybe Rowling's just salty nobody wants to date a transphobe.
I was born in Portlaoise and lived there until I was 3 years old. Then I moved to Milford with my mum and my 2 brothers. This was before my little brother was born. I was picked on throughout primary school for having dyslexia and epilepsy. When I started secondary school, the bullying got worse. I was coming home upset every day. The thought of school started giving me anxiety and panic attacks. Apart from being bullied in person, I was bullied online. There were days I felt threatened to leave the house. I didn't feel like it was taken seriously at school. I've been mocked for my epilepsy. I've been followed and threatened. It got worse with time. It has affected my self-esteem and my confidence. My advice to anyone going through this is it does get better and give it time. You need to find someone you can go to. For me, it was my older brother. Talking helps and don't bottle things up. I think the reason why some people bully others is because they have their own problems or there's something they don't like about themselves. I would like to see schools help more people like me getting bullied. I would like people to be more understanding. This can be achieved by educating people on epilepsy and dyslexia. We're all human and we should be treated equally.
So Youthscape is a north and south kind of group where everyone kind of meets, and it's to help build healthy relationships. It's a cross-border community, and there's loads of different groups, and it's to embrace different cultural backgrounds and learn everyone, but learn that there's different ways to life and not everyone has the same opinions and backgrounds and identities as you. And you kind of learn to embrace that and take it in within, because everyone is different, and you learn that within Youthscape, and it's like a fresh start. So it is, like, there's so many supportive people in Youthscape that you can always go to if you just want a conversation or just want to be left alone for the day. So my experience with secondary school that kind of led me to Youthscape was the teachers. I had a very bad generalised anxiety disorder, and a lot of things in school I couldn't keep up with because of how badly anxious I was. And in school, teachers are standing at the top of the classroom shouting at you, telling you, oh, A and B equals this, but they're not actually showing you how anything's done. They're just telling you, oh well, I told you how to do it, you should know how to do it, but you telling me and you teaching me is different. So that got really bad for me, and the teachers accused me of being a disrespectful student and stuff like that. When I wasn't, I was just struggling to learn because I had a different learning mechanism than everyone else. And I started refusing to go into school because of how bad it had gotten. I literally started getting sick before I even went into school because of how anxious I was. And then one of the girls in the school, she's like a youth worker in the school, Catherine Hearn. She had told me about Youthscape, so she did, and I started here on the 15th of April. When I realised, during the transitioning from secondary to Youthscape, before I had started Youthscape, I hadn't been in school for 4 months because of how bad it had gotten. But when I started Youthscape the first day, everyone was anxious. It was a new setting, no one knew anyone. But on the second day, Megan walked up to me and complimented my earrings. And then on the third day, Megan sat at a table with me, and Toby sat at a table with me, and that's when I really had come out of my shell, and I was like, I love everyone in here. And because no one cared who you spoke to, what you done, how you spoke, what your kind of style was. You were just accepted for you. And that is, the transition for me was very easy. It was a bit awkward at first because I was like, I don't know anything about this. I was the youngest in the group. I was obviously a wee bit scared, but I love it now. It has completely changed my view on myself and a lot of different things. We all kind of had, in our group, we all kind of had the one thing in common, is that we were very respectful. And we didn't care where you came from, what you did. You were accepted into Youthscape because that's who you are.
This is Marcus. He's a 19-year-old trans male. This means he's a boy that was born in a girl's body. Marcus's mum still refers to him as her daughter though. She just can't understand how her little girl would want to grow into a man. Marcus doesn't like to bring it up in case she gets upset about these things. But Marcus's brother tries to be as supportive as possible. I'll teach you how to be manly, his brother says, but Marcus doesn't seem too interested. Marcus was confused. He knew he was a boy, but why didn't he like the same things as his brother? This caused Marcus to become very self-loathing, and he fell into a dark spot in his life. His grandmother came to speak with him. Marcus told her all about how he wants to be a man, but he still enjoys dressing feminine, and he loves wearing makeup. Sure, that's okay, she said. When your mother was your age, she was quite the wee tomboy, with her hair shorter than yours. Everyone thought she was a wee boy. Marcus's nana taught him that his style doesn't represent his gender, no matter what anyone says. Not everybody is going to understand people like Marcus.
but he has lots of friends who support him on his journey. They're always there to comfort him when people aren't so kind. But Marcus will never listen to those rude comments and never let them get to him. Because of a woman in men's clothes is no less of a woman than a man in feminine wear is no less of a man.